guys, so today is not going to be your normal card trick video. I'm actually not going to be teaching a card trick at all in this video. What I'm going to be teaching you guys today is something called the card pirouette. Now if you're like, okay wait, I have no idea what that is. If you've watched my videos for a long time, you've probably noticed that I do this a lot with my cards. I spin them a lot on my finger. The card pirouette is the action of me taking a single card and spinning it on my middle finger over here. So I'm taking the card and I'm spinning it on my middle finger. So when I first learned this move, I was actually able to master it in about a week or two. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys specific tips on how to get better at this move and how to practice this move, and my tips on how to perfect this move. So basically just get out any card from any deck, and now we're going to start out with the tutorial for the card pirouette. So basically in a card pirouette, what's happening is there's two things happening here. There's the startup position where you have to actually start up the card, kind of like the ignition, like you're starting up a car, like turning the keys or something. There's that action here, and then there's also the action of just letting the card go and balance and spin on your finger, just like this. So basically, this is how I like to think of it. Basically, I'm holding the card here with my middle finger and my thumb. And as you guys can see here, I've actually drawn a little dot on my middle finger. And as you guys can see, if I just hold my hand nice and flat like this, you guys can see the dot is actually not on the center of my middle finger. It's actually a little bit off to the upper right section of my middle finger, just like that. This is actually the point of contact for which I like to spin my card pirouettes. I don't spin it right on the center of my middle finger. I actually find that I lose balance a lot more quickly when I do that. It doesn't really feel that well, and it also falls off much more easily when I spin it on the center. So I drew this dot here just for visual aid so that you guys can see the exact point on my middle finger for which I spin my cards. So this is basically where I spin my cards, on that point on my middle finger. This is definitely like the easiest point for me, and it definitely will stay spinning without it falling off for too long. Sometimes it will fall off. That's bound to happen when you're starting out. Don't worry guys, but once you practice this move enough, the card will definitely stay on your finger for a long time. So for practice, you guys should actually draw a little dot on your finger just so that you guys can see the exact point for which you should be balancing the card on. So basically what's going to happen here, I hold the card right here on my middle finger on that exact point of contact, just like this. And I also hold my thumb right there in the center, just like this. And you're just going to be practicing, balancing this card for a little bit. So just kind of hold this around, and obviously it's very easy to do it at first. You guys can move your hand around just like this, but eventually, the card might fall off or something, but just keep practicing balancing the card here on this point of contact on your middle finger. So just hold right in the center of the card, and just like that, you guys should balance the card just fine. So now this is going to be the ignition part of the card pirouette, just like this. So basically what's happening here is you're taking your thumb and you're holding it on the center of the card, and your middle finger is also holding the card, obviously, in that point of contact. Your index finger here is the main reason why the card pirouette even happens. So basically what's happening is your index finger is contacting right here, almost directly next to your middle finger, but not exactly touching your middle finger. You're sort of on the upper edge of the card here, just like this. And basically what's happening is this. So you're taking your index finger and you're placing it on top of the card, just like this. And you're basically just taking your index finger and pulling it back. And you're kind of just letting that go. You're just kind of like flicking the card. And if you hold your thumb and your middle finger down firmly, and you do this sort of flick motion and you kind of release pressure, you'll notice that the card will rotate just like this. And obviously it won't spin all the way because you're holding it down with your thumb. So when you do this, you should practice going like this, kind of back and forth with your index finger. All I'm doing is I'm taking my index finger and I'm going back and forth. And I'm also kind of moving my middle finger back and forth as well. So you should get this nice rotation going just like this. So kind of just practice this rotation. And when you're ready to go, all you have to do is make sure you're at a point when your index finger is going to be back, just like this. And when your index finger goes back, at that point, you can actually take your thumb and lift it up just slightly. Just lift it up slightly. And when you do that, the card will actually rotate on your finger. Now, when you guys are starting out, the card might, fall off of your finger and it probably won't stay on. But if you guys practice this enough with your index finger just kind of flicking the card back and lifting your thumb up slightly, the card should rotate on this exact point of contact for about a second or two. It depends how good you are at this move, obviously. If you guys practice it for longer, you guys will be able to spin it longer on your finger, and you guys will be able to have a little bit more control of the speed and the balancing of the card itself. I'm going gonna lift up my thumb at the same time. But when I do that, the card will spin on my fingers. Now, when you guys are practicing, you guys will also be able to find the angle of your hand for which the card spins the best. Obviously, if you're holding it like this, the card is not gonna, balance on your hand. You have to find the exact angle for your hand to rotate so that the card will stay balanced, just like this. So I've been practicing this move for many years now, and now I've found the exact angle of my hand that I want to rotate the card on, and it's just muscle memory at this point. So now I've just memorized the exact position of my hand and the exact position of my fingers just because I've been practicing this move so much and I do it all the time that my muscles have actually memorized the exact position for where they need to be and how they need to function. Basically, just keep practicing this back and forth motion. Simply balancing a card on your finger in the first place will definitely help you in the long run. And also just, practice spinning the card. So just practice letting go with your index finger, kind of just flicking it off just like this. I'll do a little slow motion shot right here just so that you guys can see exactly what's going on. So here we go. Just like that. So you guys can see that the index finger is going back. It's retracting in my hand just like this. And that is the action in which I'm flicking the card and making it rotate. And then I balance it on my middle finger on this point of contact. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the tutorial. So all you have to do is just practice all those things that I taught you, and you guys will for sure get this move down. You guys can impress your friends with this move. It's super fun to do. Once you get it down, it's super addicting. You will not be able to stop doing this move, and you guys will probably annoy every single person that you show this move to because you're going to be doing it so often. That's basically the tutorial for this move. I really hope you guys like this video, and see you guys for my next one. Bye.